Hello, Joe from Joe K Models here. So continuing to work on the Wildcat, just taking care of a couple of housekeeping items before painting the model, putting some primer on it. Had to do I did this part NATO black, so this is the anti-sun glare that is inside of the cockpit for the pilot. So that's got to get done before you paint, because you want to put the necessary cockpit pieces in place and glued before you airbrush, so that way everything is seamless. If you put it on after you paint, if there's any gaps or anything like that, it's gonna stick out and you have to basically repaint over it. So I got that all taken care of. So the last day or so I was cutting some strips of Tamiya tape and just cutting long strips and then just masking these parts right here. As you can see, I got the outline. You want to make sure that when you do this, you use a very sharp blade on your hobby knife, because once you get the tape on there and you start cutting, you want to make sure that's sharp so that you're not digging into the plastic. These clear pieces can be very brittle, so you have to be careful with them. So this back part here is going to go, I'm going to have an open canopy, so this piece is going to sit on the back like that. And that part was pretty straightforward. It's pretty much square shapes. And then I got to the front piece here, and this piece has curves on there. And I did use the Tamiya tape for curves on this as well, cut out thin strips as well. But you'll see on here that this part right here is curved. And that's very hard to get with tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a masking agent over that, and that'll be easier just to kind of move around the curves and get that situated. And then this piece is going to have to be glued onto the plane here. So that's what it's going to look like. And then to mask it, I'm going to be using this micromask here. I've had pretty good success with it in the past. So I'll be putting that on the cockpit pieces. I already applied it on the bottom here. As you can see, it's got like a blue tint, and I've had good success with that in the past. So I'm going to use that on the top as well. I'm not going to be gluing on the back part, obviously, because that's just going to basically get put on the back here. So there's no reason to glue that into place. And then I've got the engine mask, the wheel wells masked, and I'm going to be masking inside of here once I get everything painted. And when I paint the canopy pieces, I'm going to want to make sure that I do the interior green color first, so that way if you see on the inside of it, just like on the real plane, you're going to see that green on the inside, but then on the outside I'm going to do the regular colors on there as well. So I want to provide a little bit of an update. Very close to painting right now. I'm just doing the last couple of odds and ends. Once I finish with all that, I'm going to be taking some isopropyl alcohol and wiping off everything, just making sure that I've got a nice clean surface to put the paint on. And then I'll be putting on some black primer, and pretty sure I'm going to be black basing it and doing some other effects with it as well. So appreciate you checking out the workbench update, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Joe from Joe K Models.